Welcome to the Toronto Livings Podcast, a conversation about all things Toronto with a focus on real estate, the culture, and of course, the food.
I'm Mark Savell,
And I'm Joey Virgilio.
and we're realtors with Sage Real Estate working together as a Toronto Livings team with a focus on helping you buy better, sell higher, and of course, having a little bit of fun along the way. Beauty, episode 4.
We're on episode 4.
Yeah, you know what that means?
What does that mean?
That means episode 5, we go live.
Oh, a live one.
Well, no, just video.
Oh, video live.
I figured I'd just surprise you with that right off the get-go and not talk off camera. Yeah, I think we should shift the camera for episode 5 for video.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
See our beautiful faces.
We're
finally.
too pretty to be behind the mic forever, right? It's time to show the faces. How have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Been good. Been busy.
Last week, I think legitimately you were extremely busy.
Yes. Yeah.
Got a new listing?
Yes. Got a new listing.
Nice.
It's a lease, and it's in the heart of Riverdale.
Nice.
Awesome spot. It was recently renovated, so it's all done up very nicely.
Beauty.
It's a basement unit, but it's it doesn't feel like a basement unit. Right when you walk in there, it's got a separate entrance right in the front.
Oh, love it.
It's got nice tall ceilings. They're I think just over 7 feet in height. Pot lights throughout, modern kitchen, really done up nice. The owners did an awesome job
Good.
putting it together.
Yeah, and you were telling me the rental market's like insane old world again.
It has heated up like big time.
Good.
So it's the showings have been busy. My phone's been ringing off the hook basically since.
Yeah. No, I've seen the appointments come through, and from day one you put it up, like within like minutes you had a showing booked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been moving.
That's amazing, and we're going to get into rentals today. That's the topic of today. But let's continue the banter a little bit and just catch up with where things have been.
Yeah, 100%.
So you did open house at Rolls on the weekend as well.
Yes, that was the other thing that took place this weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was also busy.
Good.
The things have been firing up across the board lately.
That's the general vibe I'm seeing and feeling out there, is that no, we're not at February 2022 activity or prices, but there's life.
People are coming back.
Yeah.
People are coming back. Since that rate hold, I feel like everyone's kind of, the consumer confidence is starting to come around the corner.
Yeah, let's maybe dive in that for a quick second. So the Bank of Canada had their second announcement, drum roll, nothing happened, which they kind of indicated at the first announcement that they were going to probably take a pause.
That's right.
But, and I don't know anything about this bank collapse stuff, like the intricate details. I can't explain it to myself. I can't explain it to the listeners, and I definitely can't explain it to you. But what happened in the U.S. is the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and as a result, the predictions are saying that possibly the decline in mortgage rates might come sooner than expected.
Right.
Very cautious. I'm not going to, run into thinking this is a sure thing, but what a big shift.
Huge, because this just goes to show that no matter how much we can predict, we can't predict. And that's exactly it. It is, who would have guessed that 2 banks would have collapsed in the US?
Yeah.
That are now leaving people to talk about, oh yeah, you know how we were going to hold rates up all the way up until maybe end of 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
Well, that might change now.
Well, and what got us here? COVID. We're going to leave rates the same until 2023, 2024. Oh, no, we're not. Switch, right?
Yeah.
So don't look too deep into your crystal balls. That's the, advice of the week. But the open house was busy. That's amazing.
Yes.
We're looking at offers on Tuesday for that. We'll see where things lay at the end of it. But I've been quite happy. I've had about 30, 40 people through that unit in 7 days, which is just a really good indication that buyers are out looking. And I think it's the confidence that rates are what they are. There's far less chance that they're going to spike as much as they did last year for the year ahead. And that's resulting in people saying, man, let's get out there. Let's look.
Let's take a seat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we did some eating this week as well.
We did.
We did.
We got to do some shout outs right now.
You want to start with that?
Yeah. 100%. So
Cool.
Zito's Marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was spoiled.
Yeah.
Spoiled. There was art that went behind that sandwich making.
Chef Adriano, he took care of us. 210 Marley Avenue, Zito's Marketplace. If you know me on any social media platform, you know I've been their loyal customer for way more than I care to admit publicly. So you and I had posted something on Instagram about us trying a competitor's Panzerotti and veal sandwich. Adriano was having none of it. He called me up and, what are you doing? You want to eat? Come by. And he made us, God bless him, the 10 Commandments.
Oh my God.
The 10 Commandment sandwich.
Level. Yeah. It was, first off, it's enormous. It's an entire baguette.
Yeah, it was a French baguette. Yeah. It was huge.
I couldn't believe when I saw him making it, and it is layered. The 10 Commandments is layered with 10 ingredients.
Yeah, that's the key thing.
And it's funny because it's mind you, it's a really big sandwich. Me and Mark split one.
Yeah.
But it was listen, the layers that he put in there all worked so damn well together. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was the way he made mention of it.
Yes, he was very specific on how you lay the ingredients down.
Yes.
You can't just mix it in whatever order.
Yeah, you don't just toss it at whim.
No.
There's an art to the way that you lay it.
Did you see the intensity? I swear I saw a bead of sweat dripping down as he was talking about it. Truffle pesto.
Truffle pesto.
Like, does that even exist?
I didn't know until that moment.
Our limited palates blown. So truffle pesto as the base. He removed the inside of the bun. So he removed a lot of the bread.
Yeah, which also was such a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're looking at it being like, this thing's huge, and then you eat it and you're like, oh, I'm okay.
Super light.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I'm alive still.
Yeah. And it was that thickness of the bread was drastically reduced, and so instead he filled it with the commandments, as he calls them. Yeah. But that was amazing.
Yeah, if you saw my Instagram too, I posted it as well.
Yeah.
If you saw that sandwich, like it's worth going in there.
210 Marley Avenue.
Yeah.
Order a day in advance. Because he's got to get his 10 Commandments, all of his ingredients together. But no, that was a fantastic lunch treat that they gave us.
Huge shout out.
Yeah. We've got something coming up in about 2 weeks' time. Our good friends Will and Alex at the Raptors show. They're over at Sportsnet. They are doing an event on March 29th in support of Bobby Webster, the GM of the Toronto Raptors.
Right, yeah.
Go Raps, go. So they're going to be they're incredible podcasters. They have such good chemistry and banter, and Will is a statistic beyond belief when it comes to Raptor stats. Alex is all right. he carries the conversation. He's a great guy. I love him. We've been friends for quite a long time. So yeah, he asked for some support, and we're going to be supporting the live show they're going to be recording on March 29th. And what we're going to be doing to kind of support that is we're going to give out 2 tickets to the show.
Yes.
Maybe 3, maybe 4. Depends how many people want to go. We've got a couple to give out. So what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to release a super secret word. And when you give me the look, and I'll know when that look is, when the swan gives the shark the look, I'm going to reveal the super secret word. Well, you got to screenshot the time that the word gets revealed on whatever platform you listen to this podcast show on.
Yes.
And send it to us, either one of us. And you will win 2, maybe 3, possibly 4 tickets to the Will and Alex live show.
Look at that.
What do you think?
I love it.
Love it?
I love it.
All right. Then it's done. Joey approved.
I got quite a look too. So
yeah. You always give me the look. I don't know which one it's going to be, but when the look comes, we're doing it. We're doing it. You got into, I finished Emily in Paris.
Oh yeah.
You know this. Yeah. I think I shared this last time. And we're both into Your Honor now.
Yes. I've been on the Your Honor train.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, man, it's pretty damn good.
Oh, it knows how to fuel up your anxiety. Well, at least my anxiety.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I'm like on the couch, like, oh God, what happened next?
So if anybody doesn't know, also, Mark hasn't seen Breaking Bad.
No, he has not.
So my first comment was, oh, if you like this, you're also going to love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
There's definitely a similar feel to it.
Yeah.
And it's got that anxiety of like, how the hell is he going to get out of this one? How the hell is he going to get out of that one?
Yeah.
It for sure has that same feel. Bryan Cranston is killer.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got such a wide scope of work that he's able to like excel in. And he truly is what makes the show. Like, a lot of the characters drive me nuts. Thea, Baxter's wife, like Adam, the son, like, drives me nuts. But he definitely holds it together. And I'm on episode 2. I'm on season 2.
Yeah.
You're on season 1.
I'm still season 1. Yeah.
Look, there's times where you're kind of going to want to turn it off. Stick with it. The story really builds slowly, but builds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. The pace is something that it's something to mention. It does hold you on the hook.
Yeah.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
Like, they do drag some things.
Yeah, and that's good TV, right?
Yeah.
It's like this podcast. We have a 10-minute banter to try to draw you
Yeah, I
in
guess.
and slowly build up where we're going with this, and then we just pow. I thought for a second you gave me the look. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. Gotcha. Not yet. Yeah, that's awesome. The show's good. Ted Lasso started back up. Did you watch?
No, I've never seen Ted Lasso.
Oh man, feel good show of the year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard the name like 100 times. But
Yeah. Whether you're into soccer or not, it's a great show, man. You just leave there like you're warm inside. It's like Christmas morning with cookies. Yeah, I just like, oh, what a good show. So I think they're on season 3 now, but that's
a big one
to get into. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one I've been hearing.
Yeah. Now, another shock to you, another surprise to you. Do you know what yesterday was? Sunday, I should call it.
Oh,
Yeah. Wasn't my birthday.
it was kind of like my birthday.
Oh, you do know.
I do know what it is.
Okay, what was it?
It was St. Joseph.
The Feast of St. Joseph.
That's right. Yeah.
That's amazing. I wanted to bring you a Zeppeli because you're doing the open house.
Yeah, right.
I was going to bring you Zeppeli. I did order it, but I ate it. And then the F1 race was on. And
You get carried away.
I just, one thing led to another, 3 espressos deep, the Zeppeli's gone. But I owe you a Zeppeli. So Feast of St. Joseph, important for 2 reasons. One, that's your namesake.
It is, yeah.
And the Italian culture, like, do you get dressed up as St. Joseph?
No, I didn't. Would have been a good stick for the open.
That would have definitely got the people going. But what many people might not know is St. Joseph is also the patron saint of real estate. Officially, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what people say he is. And I'm not sure if we shared it before.
I can't remember. Yeah.
So, like, I've got a St. Joseph statue both in my office and at my house. And this all came about because one of my clients asked me if I knew about the tradition of how to sell your home with St. Joseph statue. And I was like, no. So I looked into it, and it's this whole thing of you have to bury the statue, you have to say a prayer every day. And the theory is that St. Joseph grants your wish and sells your house. So the last 12 months, I mean, a lot of people should have been trying that tactic.
Listen, you can either do it that way or my cell phone number is.
That's good. Oh, wow. Today's coffee's got you fired up. I love it. So you either pray to St. Joseph or hire my St. Joseph. Joey Virgilio. Cool, man. So then let's tie all this back in. Real estate,
Yes.
rentals are crazy.
Yeah. Market's flipping.
Market's turning fast.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stories of people being priced out of rentals,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. Bidding wars are back. And it's this, it's this, I mean, the same Toronto story we've heard for quite a while now, which is just like, it's competitive.
It's competitive. And for various reasons, like, do I think we're back to where it gets a little out of control? And that's really the return to office, the return to schools, the return from COVID life to somewhat of a new normal life.
Right.
Has seen a lot of people come into the city. And with rates high, not everyone's buying, and people are thinking, well, let's see where the market goes and rent for a little bit. Which got us thinking about maybe doing an interview style. Well, I'll interview about the who, what, when, where, why of using a realtor for rentals.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of people know that they can use a realtor.
It's definitely not something, or if they do think about it, even
Yeah.
if it's a thought, it's usually like, well, why would I pay for that? Like, it's already so expensive.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
yeah.
Like, why add an additional cost of a realtor?
Yeah.
Never thought of it that way. Should I do an interview voice?
Okay.
I don't know if
I
I
got to
have
do
one.
Mark voices.
Soundboard. Who's a good interviewer? I mean, I like Don Lemon.
All right.
On CNN, but I don't sound like him. I'm just going to ask you questions, and you're going to kind of walk us through the demystifying everything about working with a realtor for finding a rental.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So I guess let's start with the why.
Yeah.
Why the heck should someone call Joey the Swan Virgilio to find a rental in Toronto?
Okay. So first things first is, have you ever gone on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji and shopped for a rental place?
I like to leave my anxiety with your honor, and I don't like to bring it into social media. So I've dabbled in it, and my God, is it a scary place.
It's a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know about it. Like, it's not a mystery that when you're messaging 100 properties, you get maybe a response from 3 of them. You also question what's happening because you don't know who's actually responding to you. You don't know if it's their listing. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
The nice thing about working with a realtor is that you kind of don't have to deal with any of that. You see a place you like, you can just call one guy and set up a showing.
Yeah.
Somebody that you trust. You want to make sure that he's a trustworthy realtor.
Sure.
But yeah, that's kind of the nice part about it. The other thing I will mention right out of the gates, because I feel like we just got to address this right away.
Drop it.
There is no cost.
There is no cost.
It's free to work with a realtor. So on
find a rental.
Yes, on the tenant side.
Yeah.
So if you do want to just reach out to people to start asking around, like, there's no cost to you to see what's up.
So what I hear you saying is that basically like, instead of me checking Kijiji, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, reaching out to all these randoms, I reach out to one random who becomes my friend named Joey. And Joey then is able to browse all the MLS and send any listings that fit the criteria and save you all that time and frustration and anxiety.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sold.
Yes. Yeah. And not only that, but like even trying to line up those showings that work for you. Yeah. Having a point man to just say, are you good on Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'll set them all up for Wednesday.
So you're like the property concierge. It's like, you stay at a hotel, you want to get a restaurant reso, you call down and they're like, great, we got it. All you do is show up and you eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want a rental. Great. Call me. Boom. You find it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's worthwhile to find an agent first that you connect with as a person. And I would say like an experienced agent is obviously more preferred than a new one who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. But first year, run the numbers. How many rentals did you do?
So
you did some crazy amount.
Yeah, I did. Well, it was over 30. I don't remember.
That's impressive.
How many specifically? Okay. I think it was over 30 though.
Yeah, that's impressive given how competitive the market was at the time. Like I dabbled in rentals for a bit. I hated it because it was so hard for me to get it to click. So if you're doing 30, you definitely got the experience behind you to make the magic happen. And being basically downtown condos is your bread and butter, right? Yeah. Okay. So then who should be reaching out to you? Like, could anyone call, or do you have to be a specific price point, or what's?
Yeah. So this is kind of this is an interesting question because listen, anybody can call to have the initial conversation to see if it's even worth kind of moving down the line. Is there a price point? Not necessarily, but there's a couple things that I'm going to just mention as in terms of differentiating if you should bother kind of going this route, or if you should honestly just look on your own and try to kind of handle these types of scenarios.
Yeah.
First thing I will mention, if you're looking for a deal on rent or something that's like well under market value, if you're coming to a realtor to try to find that, I'm just gonna be honest, you probably won't.
Yeah.
Realtors, if we're going to be looking on the MLS and on market properties and for on market properties, and the thing about that is those are listed by other realtors that represent landlords, and everybody's looking out for their client's best interests. In that case, they're well educated on what is going around in terms of rental prices in that area, and they're going to be a listing agent is going to be listing in a price range that's appropriate and not undervalue it. Obviously, depending on the client, but that's generally the case.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. Let's break it down. So there's a bit of a multiverse in rentals as well.
There is.
Right? There's two different kind of products that tenants could be looking at. They could be looking at their traditional purpose-built rental building, which is those old 70, 80 style bigger units that are managed by one property manager. And then there's the condos that we see, the big towers you see downtown, that individual landlords rent the individual units in them. And we specialize in more helping people get into those style of units. So what you're saying is, if you're looking for a bit of a below market price point, you maybe should be shifting and looking at the older style apartment buildings.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And if you're looking for something like if you want that modern condo and you want that lifestyle, that's where we would step in as realtors and help you kind of navigate
that. Yeah. And that's, there's a big difference. In the newer condos, you have more modern amenities, usually a more central location, more upgraded finishes. But there is a bit of a premium you pay for that.
Yeah.
Right. I think right now, what would you say the average price of a one bed minimum?
Yeah.
2,000 minimum.
And
that's even hard to find.
Yeah. I was going to say, even that's kind of pretty light.
Yeah. That's like your studio, bare bones, not much in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your square footage is probably pretty small at $2,000.
Yeah. So like what, 23 with parking?
Yeah. I was going to say average, 23 to 25 if you're like looking in that, especially with parking. Yeah.
Especially probably 25 with parking.
Yeah.
And that's just a simple one bed. Like it's not very big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we're talking two beds, what, 2,800 to 32-ish?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not cheap to live in Toronto. I will say that.
No, it's not. But it's definitely worth your value to have someone guide you through that crazy process.
Yes, 100%.
And this is like a fun fact that I don't think a lot of people know about, but there is far more paperwork involved in a rental than there is in a sale.
100%. Yeah, that's actually one of the other things that I will mention if you do decide that a realtor is the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Is we know how to best present you to the other side.
Great point.
And it depends on the market that you're in, and knowing Toronto, like 90% of the time you're in a pretty intense market when it comes to the rental side. So realistically, it is better to get yourself set up with all the supporting documents, all your rental application kind of prep before you write the address down, before you really even go shopping.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, that's a good point, because then your value is part-time concierge because you book everything, but also part-time coach.
Exactly.
Because you're like, all right, team, you want to get a rental? This is what we need out of you. And what we typically ask for is like prepare things like get your credit report ready, previous references from landlords, letter from HR, any financial proof you can show, income you make, pay stubs, all that fun stuff. And Joey's you have a really good system where you request that the tenant ask that, prepare that for us up front and early.
Yes.
And the beauty of that is when the right place comes up, you're ready to go.
Yes, you never want to be in a situation where you see the place, you like it, and you still have a couple documents to grab.
Yeah.
And then you go head home, and then as you're kind of getting things together, and then you get my message to say, "Hey, there's an offer on the unit. We got to move really quickly."
Yeah.
And then we're now losing out because there's somebody else that swooped in because they saw it, yesterday.
Yeah. And that's where the experience of finding a Toronto rental gets the bad rep, right? Because it's so chaotic. But if you're prepared, you've got all your documents ready to go. You got Joey, the concierge, Swan coach, putting everything together for you, then that makes their chances of getting it that much better.
Right.
They got the full package.
Exactly. And you get to present properly too, where you can really, if you have all that stuff together, you can really tell the story of the tenant to the other side so that they can get a good picture of who you are.
Yeah.
And really paint you in the best light.
Well, then maybe, I'll speak on that for a second, because I usually am on the landlord side for a lot of things. And I'm not just judging the paperwork and the tenant and the documents given to me for the landlord's best interest. I'm also listening intently to how the realtor is presenting their tenants. Do they know them? Do they have a long history for them? Are they someone they just met offline and they're trying to push a deal through? And having someone who truly understands what the tenant's looking for gives me, the listing agent, that much more confidence to tell my landlord clients, hey, I know the agent. He explained to them like this. The story backs up. All the ducks are in line. This seems like a good fit. Right? Because once the landlords have a very tough time dealing with problematic tenants. So you want to make sure you bring the right person in from the get-go.
Yes.
And having an agent who could present that is huge.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. When should somebody kind of be reaching out to you?
Yeah, good question. So you can reach out ASAP.
Yeah.
It's best to get yourself organized before, as early as possible. I mean, really, you want to. Everyone kind of starts to think about it. Let's say 90 days prior.
Yeah, I think that's a good time frame.
Yeah. So realistically, it's a good to reach out and start to say, hey, what do we need to do? How do we sort this out? My first question to you when you call me is going to be, are you coming from a rental property? And have you given your notice yet?
Right.
The way that everybody knows, well, not everybody, some people might not, but 60 days notice is what you're supposed to be giving to your landlords when you're about to vacate. And the way that it actually works, logistically, is it works in terms of rental periods.
Right.
So if your rent comes out on the 1st, you actually need to give that notice before the 1st to say we're giving our 60 days starting the 1st. And that's how they actually are supposed to line up. If you have a relationship with your landlord, you might be able to have that conversation on the 3rd,
there's flexibility.
There's a little bit of flexibility in that sense, but so that's the first question. If you're in terms of starting to look, 60 days, you're probably going to want to start seeing some places, or at least getting your things in a row. Realistically, with a tight market and with my experience that I've dealt with in the last little while, a lot of places come up vacant. So, when you're looking 60 days out, you're probably not going to get an abundance of things that are going to work for you because everything's kind of showing as empty and they want ASAP occupancy. So I would say 60 days, you want to start looking, keep an eye out. There are some things that are still tenanted that allow for or are looking for that 60 days out. And it's the most responsible way to do it. And, coming into that 45, 30-day mark, that's when you're probably in your highest point of probability of finding a place.
Okay, so 90 days out, the decision pops into your head. I'm thinking of changing places. I need more space, whatever the reason is. In that time, you kind of prep all your paperwork. 60 days out is a good time to reach out to Joey and say, hey, I'm ready to make this move. Let's get the ball rolling. And then 30 days out is when you're actively looking for that new month start date.
Exactly.
Okay. That's I think that's a good, nice packaged ideology of how to
and the timing of it,
how to approach it. Yeah. Okay, so we got the timelines kind of down packed. Now there is it can be tricky at times to get accepted by a landlord for a variety of reasons, right? They sometimes have their issues with certain applications and the way the credit scores may be, or income, or if you're new to the city and you don't have a job just yet, it can be challenging if you take the MLS route, if you take the realtor and the MLS route. But that's where, like, as we were speaking about earlier, those older style rental buildings might be a good fit.
Yeah, that's actually good to bring up. There is something to be said if your situation is if you got some challenges to kind of work through, say you're like for
credit
instance,
score.
let's say your credit score might be in a rougher spot, or whatever the case might be, that might be a little more difficult to kind of pitch to an individual landlord that owns an individual condo, let's say. That you're honestly probably better off, once again, to kind of look off market and look for those places like those apartment buildings that might be a little more lenient to things like that.
Yeah. And where would you suggest they look? Like, what type of website should they be on?
Yeah. So off market, honestly, like, first things I will say, if you've got an area in mind and you're close by and you're able to drive past some of those buildings, take note of what's around.
Yeah. They usually have a big sign in front saying, this is the number if there's vacancies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a nice one to do, because you're talking right to property management.
Yeah.
Other places like, you Facebook marketplaces, you're going to have to kind of weed through some of the people you might be dealing with.
Do they have a lot of those style buildings on Facebook Market?
No, they won't. Yeah. I mean, you might find
the odd one.
Yeah.
So I like rentals.ca.
Right.
Because a lot of those landlords can advertise their entire building on there. So sometimes you'll get like a variety of layouts within one building that you can kind of pick and choose from. Pad Mapper.
Yeah.
That's another one that's quite popular. I think that's a little bit more condo based, but they do have some full on buildings that
they do. Also, I will say there's View It as well. I'll
View It.
Yeah.
That's a good, that's on.
Yeah, View It's another good one. There are people also, there's individuals that if you speak directly with a landlord, let's just say, for instance, they might have leniency more so than going through agents as well. So if you see something on View It or something on, and you meet the landlord, you might have a little more wiggle room when it comes to kind of the situation. Yeah,
they might be a little bit more understanding. Their criteria might be a little bit more lenient. If they run it as like a multi-unit building, they might just their risk tolerances, I find, a little bit lower.
Exactly.
Than an individual landlord of a specific one-unit building type thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, if somebody wants to find you or reach you or contact you, where can they get in touch with Joey?
Now, I have an Instagram handle that I can share first.
Please.
Off. Yeah. So it's Joey. Hold on a second. It's Joey _ Toronto Living.
Yeah. We changed it recently. So
I now am I'm a part of the team officially on Instagram.
You're stamped. You're tattooed. You're stamped. Yeah. You're in.
So you can DM me there. You can reach out. I mean, if my email is joey@torontolivings.com.
Yeah.
And phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which maybe I should.
I don't know, but I don't think you should give your number out on the air. But I feel like you just gave me the look. That, or you're trying to figure out if you should give me the number or not.
It was a little bit of both.
Oh God, it happened. Okay, so I got the look. Joey gave me the look. So here's the word. If you screenshot this time frame of the podcast, the word is coactus. Coactus. Do you know what coactus is about?
I don't know.
Okay. So when the Raptors were on a World Series World Series, oh my God, I'm missing with baseball. When they're on the championship run that year, we had Kawhi Leonard. And when we won, there was this guy, his name was Plant Guy, partying on the streets. And he had a cactus that he stole from like a hotel. And he wanted to give it to Kawhi, and he called it a coactus. And so I need a little bit of a little bit of uplifting vibe for these Raptors to make it to the playoffs. And so I think using the word coactus will manifest a good playoff run for us. So if you could screenshot this time frame of the podcast, DM me on Toronto Livings or reach out to me on any platform, I will gift you 2 tickets to the March 29th fundraiser to see Alex Will and Bobby Webster. Should be a good one.
All right.
Now, something else happened, speaking of manifestation. Last episode, we were talking about how the MLS sucks.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Timing was insane. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. It sucks because the the public can't see sold prices.
Yeah.
And then you text me during the week, and what did you find?
The message I got within, I think, I swear to God, it was within 3 days
Of recording, yeah.
of recording our episode. It was, hey guys, we've just added this feature to Realm.
Yeah.
And you can now get your clients to access sold data.
Amazing.
Boom.
Boom.
We have people listening.
Yeah, we have people listening.
We have important people listening.
We're manifesting sold data out there, which is incredible. I actually, speaking of MLS, I got to give a shout out to Rose up in Schaumburg.
Schaumburg?
I can never tongue twist that, especially with like espresso on my tongue. It's Schaumburg, Rosanna in Schaumburg. She's got a great business out there. Let Them Be Little Kids. It's a childcare center.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she reached out to me because she found this really interesting listing on the MLS, and it was a tiny house for sale. It had no address. It had no intersection. It was just this like, hey, buy this tiny house. And it was like $200,000, something in that price point. And she's like, what is this? And I was like, I don't know. This is weird. And so I looked into it. What it was they have, somebody was building a tiny house and trying to sell it on the MLS system. But they went about it through for sale by owner pathway. Mm-hmm. So they just paid someone to put it up there. And within 2 days, the MLS took it down. Or
it didn't make it.
No, they pulled it. You can't sell a trailer.
I was going to say.
Like, I don't know. That was interesting. But shout out Rose and Schaumburg.
Schaumburg.
Right? Schaumburg.
Yeah, Schaumburg.
Let Them Be a Little Childcare up in Schaumburg. If you have little ones, go check out their place. She posts on Instagram. I wish I was a kid there. It looks so fun. There's such a good vibes that they have there. But yeah, if there's anything that catches your eye on the MLS or like something you want to dig a little bit deeper on, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it part of the show. Let's have that interaction where if people have a burning question, they don't have to just leave it up in their head. They can reach out to us. It could be about rentals. It could be about tiny houses on the MLS. Yeah. And hey, if it's about a $20 million listing, we could help with that too, I think. Yeah.
We'll work something out.
Yeah, we'll work something out. Any shout outs you want to give?
Not off the top of my head right now.
Hey,
if something comes, I'll
no, that's fair. Sometimes you just don't feel like giving shout outs. I don't know if I have it either. Let me check my notes here. I don't have any shout outs this week. Well, if you want a shout out, reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Next week when we are live, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
We'll figure it out.
But I don't know how we're going to do a podcast, and here we are on episode 4.
Yeah.
So we could figure out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. I was able to see who on Spotify, a nice demographic of who our listeners are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. But no, what stuck out to me was their music genres.
Oh.
Yeah.
Music, like, wait. You can see what music
they most listen to, because I checked the Spotify analytics. So I don't know who these people are. Like, our target group is like 25 to 45.
Okay.
I think it's like 60 male, 40 female listeners.
Okay.
But try to get some of the music that our loyal fans listen to.
Okay, my instinct is sweet jazz.
Wrong. Try again.
Okay, so genres are just, I'm going to do generics.
No, you can do the artists. You can guess.
Oh, artists.
Yeah.
I was going to go generics and just go like.
Sure, but that's not hard to guess. Okay, let's see your best.
I'm going to go hip hop.
Correct.
Oh, I nailed it.
And who would be the artist? Toronto-based.
Oh, Drake?
Yeah. But I feel like that's like, he shows up on everyone's playlist.
That's true.
Not true. Like, should we shift our voices to be appealing to the Drake listeners out there?
Okay. How do we do that?
I don't know.
Do we sound like Drake more?
Oh man, I can't cry on the mic. Bad lyrics. Can you ghostwrite for me? Maybe that will help. Yeah. Shots fired. So there's two very wide spectrums. There's the Drake people who listen to the podcast, and this one really shocked me. Black Keys. Do you remember Black Keys?
I do remember Black Keys.
From like 2012?
Yeah.
Well, apparently people still listen to them. And those people like our show. So we got to grow beards. We got to put braids in our hair.
I've tried for over 30 years to grow a beard.
You're not a beard grower.
I can't do it.
Listeners, if you have any tips for Joey to grow a beard, send us a DM. I have no problem growing a beard. My problem is too much hair. Yeah, this thing just comes out like crazy.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about it.
But you had cool locks. I saw your hair back in the day.
Hey, I compensated with my afro. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a huge afro back in the day.
I saw some. I was impressed. Maybe we'll. Are you on Spotify? Your band?
We are. Yeah.
Tune in to episode 5 when we find and play. If Joey gives me permission off air, because he's far bigger than me and can hurt me. Should we say the name of the band? No, let's keep it
a mystery for now.
Yeah, so Quactus is our mystery word.
Yeah.
And Joey's band reveal, episode 5.
Season 5.
That's season 5. Episode 5. It's going to be a vibe. Play the outro.
That's it.
I can't rhyme with outro.
That's it.
Out we go, Joe.
Out we go, Joe.
All right, that's it. Thanks for listening to the Toronto Livings Real Estate Podcast. You could find more information on how we work over at torontolivings.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter to get price reports from over 150 different neighborhoods in the city each and every month.
If you got any value, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you made it this far, thanks for listening.